My name is Jeff Tessier. I'm the engineer for the Office of Community Development. I will get us started today, and then after I finish, if anyone has any questions, they can unmute themselves and ask the question or put it in the chat. The topic I'm going to talk about today is what to do when bids come in over budget. Unfortunately, this has always happened in our program and with construction projects, but it seems to be happening a lot lately. So I've been asked to tell you what your options are if projects come in over budget. The first option is to reject all bids. If all bids come in over budget, you can reject the bids. Now, once the bids have been reviewed, you can get some insights from the contractors that bid on the project. There's a few things you can do. You can go out for bids with the same plans and specs. Now you say, well, what good will that do? Well, a lot of times with contractors, it's timing. They're busy. They can't get to it. And they say, if you give us a couple more weeks or you do it next month, we can put a bid in and we can probably put a competitive bid in. So a lot of times once you talk to the contractors, you can get some insight into that. You can also revise the plans and specs. Now this is, like I said, once you've had a chance to review the bids, you can get input from the contractors, and you can also do some value engineering. We've had a lot of that with the parks lately, where they've gone with with cheaper options, just more inexpensive options on park equipment. So it's really based off the contractors and the engineers tightening up the budget. So that's the first option, is to reject all bids, and then you have some different options under that. Second option, once the bids come in and they're over budget, you can add additional funds to the project. The grantee can make up the difference between the low bid and the funds available for construction by a few things. First is local funds. The grantee, if they have funds available to put to the project, they can add those additional funds out of their own resources. Secondly, you can reallocate CDBG grant funds. If there is money in the grant that can be moved over to construction, we can do that. A good example of this is there's money in acquisition. A lot of people, have money in acquisition where later on down the line, they feel like, or they don't need it, or they get the piece of property donated or cheaper, they can move that acquisition money over to construction. So if there's some funds available in the grant, take some paperwork from us, but we can switch that money over to construction. Other sources of grant loans or grant money or loans. Good example in our office, we have the Community Water Enrichment Fund, CWEF, or LGAP, Louisiana Government Assistance Program. If the local entity has CWEF or LGAP funds that they want to move over to the CDBG construction funds, or they can do that pretty easily. Recently, there have been other sources of funding that they can use toward our projects. We do this quite a bit: American Rescue Plan, water sector. So there's different funding out there that can be used for our projects. And then, as always, Louisiana Department of Health, Department of Environmental Quality, USDA, they always have money that they will lend you. Now, some of this money comes with principal forgiveness, and that's something you can talk to them about, but you can always go to these other agencies for a loan, like I said. And then the third option, we had reject all bids, additional funds. And then the third would be deductive change orders. Grantee must enter into a contract with the lowest bidder. Then they can execute a change order to bring the project within budget. Grantee must investigate how this option would affect other bidders. There's some bid law issues going on with that, but it's something we can work around. All change orders must be approved by this office prior to being signed by the grantee. Now, all these options, it would be good to talk to us before you jump into anything. We're always available to talk about this. And these options are discussed in our grantee handbook. So if you have any questions, you can ask me now. You can unmute yourself and ask, or you can put it in the chat. But we're going to be here for the rest of the hour. We'll be doing our work, and we'll be listening in for any questions that you may have. Thank you.